Welcome back, everyone. Dealing with financial stress can take a toll on your mental health and also creep into every aspect of your life. But believe it or not, there are some ways to reduce stress around finances and enjoy the journey. So author and wealth advisor Lauren Sprung is joining us now with tips on how to plan a brighter financial future. This is important. Lawrence, good morning to you. How's it going?
Good morning. Fantastic this morning. Thanks for having me.
Good. I'm happy to hear it. Okay, so you're an author. You are a certified financial planner. You've talked to a lot of people when it comes to finances, and I'm sure you've heard about stressors here. I mean, this is very real that it can lead to mental anguish, right? Finances can.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's something that is stressful for many because it's hard to decipher and really understand, finances. It's something that's not readily taught to us, and we're thrown into a situation as we grow up to encounter this. So it tends to be stressful because we don't know a lot about it and we don't have really a game plan to attack it.
Yeah, such a great point. And plus the stakes are so high, right? I mean, when you're talking about finances, there's a lot at stake. So it's understandable how that could be a bit stressful. But you have some solutions for us this morning, some points to keep in mind. And let's start with this one that you give, and that's discover your why. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, so I think we have to start with why. What are you doing? What is your purpose here? What is your why for waking up every day, right? And determining what that's all about, and then framing your life around that. And, the finances are definitely something that come into play, but it really is a function of those things, figuring out what the why is, and then having the finances follow what your why is.
I thought this one was interesting, this next one, the role of joy in financial planning. I don't feel like we usually connect those two things.
We don't, and I think it's a terrible issue because many times when we, as you said, when people think about finances, it's stressful. They get, intimidated by it, and they're thinking about the numbers, the finances. How am I going to make these payments? Well, we should be thinking about how this money that we're earning, how can we bring more joy to our life and create a life of joy, and then have the finances follow. And I think once you lead with joy, it makes things a little bit easier and definitely less stressful.
Yeah, such a great point. Such a great point. And hand in hand with that, building confidence with a financial plan, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's empirical evidence that those people that have a written financial plan are, much more successful in reaching their goals. And I think when people hear that, they feel like they need this long, drawn out 30, 50-page financial plan. It could be as easy as a 1 or 2 page financial plan, in terms of what their goals and objectives are, and revisiting that on a regular basis. And typically those folks are more successful in reaching those goals that they want to reach.
Lawrence, walk us through this one, budgeting as a mindfulness tool.
Yeah, so another thing that adds a lot of stress when people start thinking about their budget and accounting for, money's coming into their household and money's leaving out, they seize up. It's stressful because they feel like it's an exercise in figuring out what they shouldn't spend. And really what it is it's a tool that can be used to make sure that what you are spending is in line with your why. It's bringing you joy and being mindful that you are sticking to that budget. It doesn't mean you can't do things. It just means budget for them. And if they're in your budget, they bring you joy and they steer you towards your why. Go ahead, do it.
Okay, so this final one here, I feel like we know this, but sometimes it's so important to have someone, especially a professional like you, who just reiterates the importance of emergency funds, right? You never know when you're going to need it.
You never know. And as we've seen in the last several months, right, we've had storms across the country, events. That's in addition to just people's normal life events that take place. And if you don't have an emergency fund and one of those situations should arise for you, that stress level can go to, DEFCON 5, so to speak. And if you have the emergency fund, it takes a lot of pressure off of that. And it's not something you have to build up today and have 100% of whatever your desired emergency fund is, but be mindful of it. budget for it, set up a separate account, and start funding that emergency fund. So when the next quote unquote emergency arises, you're prepared. And remember, an emergency doesn't mean you want to go on a nice vacation. It's truly used for an emergency.
Exactly. Such a great point. Okay, so you literally wrote a book on this. It's called Financial Planning Made Personal: How to Create Joy and the Mindset for Success. So this sounds like this could be a great tool for us, Lawrence.
I think it is. And, a lot of the concepts in there are things that I live by myself. And I share a lot of personal stories, from how the name of my firm came about to how I budget, how I've saved for my kids for their college education. And it's in a very easily understandable and readable format. And I think there's a lot of great takeaways in there.
So first of all, what is the name of your firm? And then how can we find you if we have questions or just want to, learn more about ways to be more financially secure, Lawrence?
Yeah, so the name of the firm is Mitlin Financial, and we're located in Hauppauge, New York. But I think the easiest way, and if you want more joy in your life, go to mitlin.us/joy journal, and that will allow you to download it will allow you to download our Joy Journal, so you can start incorporating joy into your life every day. And you can find me and everything about our firm from there as well.
Nice. Hey, we could always use a little joy in our lives, right?
Absolutely.
Certified financial planner and author Lawrence Sprung, thank you so much for checking in with us here in Atlanta. We appreciate it and hope you have a good weekend.
You too. Thank you.
And you can pick up Lawrence's book, Financial Planning Made Personal: How to Create Joy and the Mindset for Success, out now. 9:51. We're back right after this.